morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. We're honored, and I'm honored to stand with four brilliant members of the Congress who've had to put up with me, some for a long time and some for a short period of time. And I want to thank also the folks traveling here, Sally Greenberg, Tom Catania, Seth Hurwitz, and Bert Fowler. And who else? All of the other people that are here. I want to thank the members for being here. I know we got a crazy schedule today. And a coalition of consumer and live entertainment industry groups for being here this morning to reaffirm our strong commitment and strong, rather, opposition to the proposed merger of Ticketmaster and Live Nation. We've been carrying on this battle now for many, many months. You all know I've been long opposed to this merger of these two companies, in addition to being an advocate for much-needed reforms to our country's live entertainment industry. And I include in that all sporting events as well, because we sell tickets through the internet. So this is the whole panorama of tickets for entertainment for American consumers in a time of economic stress. But this is for not only economic stress periods, this is for all periods. And the consumer needs to be protected and must have friends here on Capitol Hill. I testified before the House Judiciary Subcommittee on Antitrust in opposition to this merger. And in July, 50 of my congressional colleagues co-signed my letter to the Department of Justice urging them to reject this proposed merger. It continues to be my view that this merger represents the greatest and most urgent threat to music fans across the country, and if approved, will have far-reaching, long-lasting negative consequences for concert goers and nearly everyone involved in the live music business. Ticketmaster is the industry's #1 ticket seller. Its largest provider of talent management services, and is the second largest reseller of tickets. And there's no question in my mind that these guys and gals want to control the entire market, all the way from the venue to the beer and peanuts. And someday they'll charge us for washing our hands in the lavatories of the concert halls. Live Nation is the industry's largest promoter of live entertainment, the second largest ticket seller, the second largest owner-manager of entertainment venues. Although we do have some up here today, experts, it doesn't take one to see that if these two companies are allowed to join forces, become the behemoth they desire, they will have unprecedented control over nearly every aspect of the live entertainment industry. Artist management, think about these. This is an inventory of what they will control. Record sales, promotion, licensing, venue control, parking, I forgot about that. Ticket sales, resales, all the way down to the hot dogs and beer, as I mentioned. They want the whole venue. That's what this is all about. This is little doubt that the result of this merger will be higher ticket prices, higher fees, and chilling effects on consumers, business managers, artists, music fans, promoters, in every state throughout the country. The American people agree. The Department of Justice, which under the Obama administration made a commitment, talk about commitments, they've become nicer. They've become more open and transparent. So they went from 1% transparency to 2% transparency. And that's exactly where we are right now. So before we get to our Consumer Industry Coalition, who will be unveiling their new website highlighting this issue, I would like to introduce some of my fellow House members for some very brief remarks. First, Steve Cohen, member of the Judiciary Committee from Tennessee. Steve?
Thank you. I appreciate Representative Pascrell and other fellow members who come forward on this issue. When I was a state legislator, the issue came up in my state about Ticketmaster not refunding the Ticketmaster fees when a concert was canceled. Ticketmaster could have had a contract easy enough with the performer, and if the contract was canceled by somebody who didn't show for whatever reason, it was easy enough for Ticketmaster to go back to the person who canceled and get the fee, but instead, they always took the fee from the ticket buyer. So the person not only had to get a ticket, then they had to get a refund. They didn't get to go to the concert, but they still had to pay Ticketmaster. And that was wrong. This would just make it much more difficult for people to go to concerts to even get their money back because they'll have total control. And that was really a rip-off of people who went to concerts. As somebody who's gone to a lot of concerts over my life, I remember going to concerts. I still go to concerts, and I want to do this for Chris Christie so we can see the boss at the cheapest price possible.
Thank you very much, Steve, for that commercial. We just had a huge scandal in Tennessee, a couple of concerts. There's no question in my mind that this is not too harsh a term. Legalized scalping. Okay? And we want to put an end to that. And we certainly do not want to inspire its growth by having these two giants merge. Joe Courtney from Connecticut. Joe, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Bill, for your leadership. Obviously, the circuits are pretty overloaded in Washington right now with a lot of issues, and I want to just thank Bill for getting people to focus in a tough environment on the Hill on this issue, because as I'm sure we'll hear from the experts, this is textbook horizontal and vertical monopolies that are being proposed here, and there is no way that the consumer can possibly survive in a fair marketplace with that as an outcome. And calling on the administration and remind them of the commitment that they made, I think, is so important. This is a slam dunk issue. We can't get action by the Justice Department to block this proposed monopoly merger, then I don't know what instance you could possibly point to where you have a viable antitrust policy. So thank you, Bill, for your leadership and look forward to working with you.
Joe, thank you. And the four members that did show up today, we've had many members on the bill on the Pause Act, but these members make me want to stay in the Congress because they're stand-up guys, and I really like working with these guys. Peter Welch from Vermont. Peter.
Thank you, Bill.
Independent state.
Thanks, Bill. You know, the antitrust issues have been described very well by the speakers. You know, we live in an economy where we believe in competition or we don't. And this is going to be a massive concentration. So if we're going to have antitrust laws that are meaningful, then they have to be applied. But there's another issue here that I've been thinking about. Oftentimes, the first thing the young person does when they're stepping out into the world is they buy a concert ticket. And it means a lot to them. That first concert ticket that they get is a memory that they have throughout their life. And why shouldn't they be able to get it at the offered price? Why should they have to be the source of overreaching the profit by the monopoly power? That's essentially what it has. So it's their first experience in government. Are they going to be able to go to the concert that they have been thinking about, dreaming about, saving money for, and get it at a reasonable price or a rip-off price? So their first exposure is whether a government is going to help them do something very elemental, use their savings, to have an experience that really means a lot at that moment in their life, or is government just going to be on the side for young people, Bill? And I really appreciate. I know you care about the boss, but I know what the boss cares about is the people in the street. So thank you.